council meeting of the village of Armada come to order now. Will everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, call roll, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Ward.
Here.
Baylor.
Here.
Sleds.
Here.
Belkey.
Here.
All present. Approval of the agenda, what's the council's wishes, please?
I need to pull the minutes.
Do that under consent.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
what is the council's,
Do we want to leave the part-time DPW worker in there, or do we want to pull that out?
I think we want to pull it out. If you want to do that, Lyle, please.
Okay, yes. Mr. President, I'd like to pull out the part-time DPW worker.
For now, anyhow,
Yes.
you know, until we can see what,
Are we removing it, or
Yes.
we're gonna pull it.
we'll pull it from the agenda? Okay.
so you're removing it, you're not tabling it or
No, we're
removing it?
Okay.
That will give you guys some additional time anyway to get with me, and we'll re-review the sheets that we went through in budget time, and you'll know where you stand financially.
Yeah.
That being said,
Thank you,
Mr.
Lyle.
President, I'll so move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. At this time, the floor is open up to citizen comments. You state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes to address the council, please. Anyone wishing to address the council, please? If not, we'll move on. There's no presentations tonight. And the administrative reports you have in your packet, which consist of the building department report and the liaison reports now. Anything at all?
I just want to make the council aware that I did receive a email today, interest in planning, serving on the planning commission and zoning board of appeals from Mr. Grand. I answered him that we will bring that back to the next meeting. But the position is either, and I think I explained this in the email, is either for one or the other, because right now we already have a liaison between the planning commission and the ZBA. So I think it will probably be everybody's hope that you go on planning, because that's the one with the least amount of people.
Which
So-
we
I haven't had a computer since this morning, so
Okay, all right, well, I did answer you.
thank you.
And, but we'll bring it back to the next meeting and, you know, and talk about that.
Because on planning, we haven't had meetings the last couple of months. We want to get into the zoning ordinance, but we want to have a full board before we start tackling it.
Yep.
So that'd be great.
Yeah. So we'll bring that back to the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
On the building department report, if you notice in your packet, there's a couple court cases going on, some tickets that I wrote. I'm gonna stick around and get those done, follow through with all those, and also the new inspector who couldn't make it tonight, I'm gonna kind of shadow him for as long as he needs it, you know, show him around how we run our system here, and then make sure he's familiar with the permits that are issued and new upcoming work.
Okay, very good.
And
I want to
did-
thank council for all your support over the years, and appreciate that.
Thanks, Dennis.
Good.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you for your
being dedicated.
I did swear in the new code enforcer also. So he's on board now too.
All right, thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
a couple liaison reports. Water, concrete work for the ripped up sidewalk was completed by D&E Landscaping and Grading. Great job. Well house number 6, you got a picture in front of you. Pretty awesome job by Barry Godowski, ABG North Construction, for $3,500. Job's complete and signed off on that tonight. Roe is working on the reliability study. The activity's on track. There's going to be hydrant pressure testing coming up on 19 June. So we're moving along. Good. And then,
Seen them in town,
yeah,
yeah.
sesquicentennial activity. We've got a meeting this Wednesday with village nonprofits, schools, type clubs and so on, 6:30, Wednesday here in the village office.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the consent agenda, which is approval of the regular council meeting minutes of June 10th.
No, May 20th.
May 20th.
We need to pull the minutes, I have a couple of corrections. So if that gets moved to 3D,
Well, actually,
well,
Just
3C, 3C, yeah.
All right. So the approval of the minutes of May 20th and the payment of bills. What is the council's wishes?
Mr. President, also move the consent agenda be accepted as amended.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please.
Aye.
Motion carried. Old business, this will be the sewer plant update first. Mr. Clark, your department, please.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Sure will.
Talked to Scott, he's in touch with Jeff, who's gonna do the work back there on the Colonial Lift Station. They don't have a firm date yet, so still waiting for that, so then I can get a hold of D&E to go out there and do the demo work before they proceed. And then Scott's also working on getting some firm prices on the oven, using the laboratory for the testing purposes, so maybe by the next meeting I should have that, so that's all I've got.
Okay. Sounds good. Any questions of Mr. Clark?
Are they still, I know they're gonna fix that sewer,
So lid, they're gonna,
the lid.
it's gonna be brought up
Right.
higher, flush with the sidewalk, and there's gonna be a new hatchway on it. Because right now, the main problem is the hatchway. They're afraid one of these times they're opening it up, and it's gonna fall down a hole.
Do they have any completion date at all?
Again, I'm waiting for a date from Jet for them to come out there, and then D&E is gonna do the finish cement work on the sidewalk. Because Jet doesn't do that part of it.
Yeah, we discussed. I had a resident ask me.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be about a month, I gave them.
yeah, I'm hoping.
You said D&E, are they doing the demo or are they doing
They're
they're doing both?
Well, all they're working on is the sidewalk, because Jet, in their quote, they
Right.
won't touch the sidewalk.
Okay.
So they have to do the demo before Jet comes out, and then once Jet is
Then
done, they
finish
will do
it.
the
Okay.
finish the sidewalk.
I'll make sure they're different.
All set?
Yeah.
Next is the West Main Street update. Mr. Ballard, your department, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We had a progress meeting on June 3rd. They gave us some dates, but we're not gonna hold them to it because of the weather, of course. But the underdrains is supposed to be done by 6/11, and I don't think they're gonna get there because they had the rain today. But I do see that they are putting the drains in. Concrete, supposed to be by 6/18, that's for the curbs and like that. Hot mix asphalt is supposed to be 6/24. I asked if they're using any vibratory packing, and they said no. If they do, it's a static pack. After that, it's one pass with the static pack and the vibratory, so it's not that bad. All the sewer issues have been resolved. The Simon Street patch is going to go past the two driveways, the one on the west and the one on the east side. It's going to go right past that, and then they're going to patch it in all new HMA. The next meeting will be 6/18, and our project is still on go for completion by 7/8, I believe, 19. So that's what we're hoping for. Weather permitting, of course. So I'm not going to give them too much static if it's not done exactly on that day. Also, we had a call concern about the post office boxes. And for those of you who, out in the village, who have not been able to get your mail, we do have a letter here on file that you were supposed to receive. If you didn't receive it, I don't know why, but
They
Michelle-
actually went door to door with those?
Oh, did they?
I believe that's what
They
we were
did,
told.
but they did not go down Teat Street.
Oh, okay.
They had not the regular inspector was on, somebody was subbing, and they did not realize that Teat Street was involved
Okay.
in that. So they did not receive those letters. I did talk, I left a message for the resident. Do you know if she called back?
She did.
She did? Okay.
You had already left. She'll call
Okay.
back in the morning.
All right, okay. So, and I do have a copy of the letter now.
Yes, Michelle does have a copy of the letter. I apologize for any inconvenience that this has been causing. So, other than that, Mr. President, that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Ballard. Any questions of Mr. Ballard? Now we'll move on. New business, the smart fund distribution. We have representatives here from SMART. And Mr. Jeff White.
Fred Barker from
Fred
Smart,
Barker.
and Jeff White from Richmond
I
Heights.
couldn't remember your name totally at all, so I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, but no, just, I like to say the last name, so.
Very good.
They participate, they say.
I think council has before them tonight basically just the renewal of the transfer of the smart municipal community credits to Richmond Lennox EMS for the provision of the community transit service here in your community. I think most of the council is aware that we provide quite a bit of service to your area's seniors, disabled, and in fact other residents Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to get to various, a lot of medical appointments, grocery, things of that nature. Really, people can use it for just about anything. We get some people to and from work that can't otherwise drive due to medical conditions that prevent them from having a driver's license. So we operate Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then Saturdays from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. We'll run a little bit later on Saturdays if need be. I just want to mention to council that in your neighboring communities, I guess I want to make sure everybody always knows this is available to you as well. In your neighboring communities, we also find that some of those communities do use the transit buses for special events going on in their community, such as the Richmond Good Old Days, the Memphis Days Festival. They use our buses to move residents around. And in New Haven, during what has been their Rocket Fest, or this year it's their 150th celebration, we'll be providing transit service for people to get from place to place there. I only bring that up to say, I always want to make sure that folks in Armada are aware that if you have various events going on here in the community where it would make some sense to have some shuttles moving people from a parking area to the event, the site of the event, or just around town, you can always contact us. We're more than happy to schedule those in and get people using the vehicles.
Does that cost anything?
There's no additional cost. We build that right into our budget. So I hope that that's something to do. And again, you can contact me directly at the EMS office, and I'll make sure you have my phone number before I leave here tonight. A direct number for that.
Something like that,
For
how much lead time do you need?
you know, usually if we have 30 days in advance, that's great, because that way we schedule extra drivers. You know, it's just a matter of scheduling drivers. The vehicles are there. Oftentimes those are weekend events, so the vehicles aren't as widely used on weekends. We do provide some Saturday service, you know, for you know, what people like refer to as dial ride. But we usually have plenty of vehicles. It's just a matter of scheduling a driver to, you know, whatever we need to manage the event. So the other thing that I'm pretty excited about, and it's just kind of taken off, which you'll find will be a bad pun here in a minute, on June the 1st. We have, I think, done a really good job. I'll pat ourselves on the back. We've done a really good job of taking care of our seniors, disabled folks in your communities, those people that are maybe 65 and older with medical problems, disabilities, things like that, getting on the vehicles. But what I've learned and what became evident in the last election that involved SMART was that I don't think we're providing enough service to what I call the 30 to 50-year-old population that is out there. And so we've given something a try starting June 1st. So far it's been going very well, so I don't think it will be going anywhere anytime soon. We're one time a day. We're offering one trip a day down to Detroit Metro Airport. It's on a first call, first served basis. We will pick you up at your home. We'll pick up your family. We'll pick up your luggage. We'll take you to the airport and drop you off, and then arrange for your return trip, which is basically just a one call. A vehicle will be waiting at the airport upon the return. You'll make a call. They'll come out of the cell phone lot and pick up you and your party to bring you back to your home. Right now, we're operating that between the hours that we're taking reservations between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. For that, like I say, we're just because of budgetary issues and to see how this all rolls out, we're doing it one time a day. So if you're the first caller for that day, you'll get scheduled in, and then nobody else would. We are asking just a couple of quick things, just as information. One is we're telling people that they do have to be picked up from out here 4 hours ahead of their flight. And the reason is simple. It's just, we'd hate for anybody to miss a business trip or vacation because we did not get into the airport on time, and we have no way to judge what traffic will look like at any given time on I-94. You know, I mean, accidents, construction, other things can really delay you. We'd rather you get to the airport, have breakfast or lunch, you know, and ahead of your flight than arrive at the airport and find out you get to see the tail of your plane leaving the runway, you know, kind of thing. So we're excited about that. So far as I've announced it, every time I've announced it in a meeting, we've been kind of announcing it as we've been going around to the communities for these renewals. I've had calls the next day, literally our scheduler has, or a day or two later as it makes it out to YouTube and other events via your recorded meetings now. So the word is getting out. I do want to mention, because it's important for me to mention for my colleagues at SMART, this is something that we're doing with the municipal and community credits that your communities provide to us, the consortium of communities that we operate. So from, you know, Macomb Township to Memphis, we're providing this within that budget of money that comes from those municipal and community credits. It's important that you understand that, because if a person lives in Sterling Heights, this service isn't available. For instance, if they live in Warren, this service is not available unless their communities choose to use those local monies to provide this kind of service. So it is for the areas served by Richmond Lennox EMS. It is not a SMART system-wide initiative. But out here where we don't have the line haul buses and other things that they have in the big communities, this seemed to be a way to say to our, you know, I call it 30 to 50-year-olds and younger and older than that, by the way, but those people who probably weren't getting a lot from SMART, you know, just because they didn't use service for the seniors and disabled, here's something that we can give back, you know, to them for those tax dollars that they're paying. So we hope it will continue to go well, and we'll keep you apprised as it moves forward. So far, we're getting pretty good response.
That's awesome.
So with that, I know you had a short meeting, and I won't take up any more of your time unless you have any questions.
Just one question, Jeff. In other words, that would include our Armada Fair in August then too?
Oh yeah. Years ago, a number of years ago, actually, we for the events in the community, we actually provided some service over at the fair, and we never discontinued that. We just didn't get calls to do it any longer, so we don't insert ourselves somewhere that we may not be needed or wanted, but certainly we're available for it. So I don't know what happened in there, but we had vehicles here a number of years at the fair for the SMART buses, and then suddenly we just didn't get calls for it, so we didn't force the issue either.
I think when ACTA went down, because you guys were really active with that, with getting people around to the schools, to the
Right.
other areas where we had activities.
Yeah.
I think when ACTA went down, everything kind of subsided.
Yeah. So certainly we're there. That's why we're here. Those buses serve me no purpose nor no interest in seeing them parked in that big pretty new garage. I mean, there's a big pretty new garage that we have for them there on 32 Mile Road, but I don't want to see them in there during the day. It just that's not what the people pay for.
Awesome.
Good, thank you.
I don't want to bore you with a bunch of personal details, but I wanted to share with you, Summer of 1985, I'm a recent graduate of Central Michigan University, and I interned at the state capitol. And one of the things I learned while I was there was how much the state of Michigan is a donor to the federal government. And so I remember thinking at that time, any way I could work to bring money back to Southeast Michigan, to Michigan in general, but especially here in Southeast Michigan, being a Macomb County kid. One of the things you should know is that these municipal and community credit dollars that Jeff bundles from all these different communities, we, for a number of years, have been using them as a match to bring other federal dollars back, like the garage there on 32 Mile Road, pointing the wrong way, it's the cell phone there, I forget where I'm at here. But recently, we just executed a contract, or in the process of executing an operating agreement. It was a little over $250,000. So part of the reason Jeff's program is able to provide the level of service is not only those municipal and community credit dollars, but we use those dollars as a match to try to bring additional federal dollars back. So it is part of a bigger, pot of money, and I just wanted you to be aware that part of the reason we've been working together so closely on these types of things and going to different communities is because we try to capitalize on those dollars, bringing back those other federal resources as well. So I wanted you to be aware of that, since I just processed the contract here a day or two ago, and thought you should be aware of that. So if anybody has any questions on that, I'm a fan of less is more, so I'm done.
Very good, thank you. Anything that can help our citizens, we like it very much, so.
Say, Jeff, phone number?
Oh, yeah. I'm talking to myself.
Watch out, Michelle.
Thank you. And like I say, I usually handle the special event kind of stuff for anyone else that just wants to schedule a ride. You're welcome to call me first, but I'm going to give you to the dispatcher, because she really knows what's going on with buses every day. So we should make an announcement or a reminder of that number for any ride, whether it's senior and disabled service, whether it's airport service, whatever that might be. We have a toll-free number now. It is 844-666-5652. So use that number for your regular rides. You can contact me directly for those community type events where you want an extra bus or buses for weekend or other community type event.
And the, sorry, I got Army here, prefix was 844?
Yeah, 844-666-5652. That's our toll free number.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so what is the council's wishes here to the motion for the distribution of the funds, please?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to allow the clerk to sign the municipal credit and community credit contract to distribute the fiscal year 2020 municipal credit funds totaling $1,710 and the community credit funds totaling $4,067 directly to Richmond Lennox EMS.
Support. Helped by both Ross.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Jeff, so. It's a good thing to do.
Watch him there, Jeff.
Understood.
It's all good, it's all good.
Oh, good, thank you. Yeah, we'll vote on this. It's funny, why don't we take a roll call on this one, please?
Preferably a resolution.
Did you get, there should have been a resolution with your stuff, or a mention of a resolution. Actually, it's just one of those smart kind of,
Well, it says community credit.
No, I had one that I had crossed out, but it's because I didn't see the resolution. I don't see a resolution, Jeff?
It does say under Fred's letter to you, a copy of the board council resolution.
Well, usually that resolution for me is our motion.
Right, but
Our legal department last year asked that the communities actually pass a resolution. and-
You have a copy of that?
did you send a, you never send a sample?
Whatever you used last year, I know that the legal department accepted that, so if you just change the dates and the dollar amounts on that, it would
Yeah,
work.
so what we can do is do you think if, like Michelle said, normally our motion kind of acts as the resolution. If she certifies that as
I can only ask.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, I'll put my stamp or my sticker and my seal it.
Just adding the resolution in the motion, all right?
Well, that would
I don't
imply
have,
that we
that would
have
imply
it,
that we
yeah.
have a resolution. This was from last year, but I didn't have a resolution. I should have called you, but I didn't see a resolution.
We can put something together that'll look like a resolution, but
That's why we have a great
yeah.
team here.
it will just, they're
If
probably
I
going
were
to
in
make sure
charge,
that.
this would be fine, but I gotta go through it early
Right,
department, so.
right.
There's words around that.
That's a great call.
Yes, can I just, if we're gonna do that resolution, Lyle, if you wouldn't mind, can we add that?
Yes.
Authorize the president and
Contract
clerk?
and the resolution?
No, just to authorize the president and clerk to sign the contract. A lot of times I'd like to see that in the resolutions.
Okay, hang on, so, all right, so what are we changing the motion to?
And just add at the end, and authorize the village president and clerk to sign the contract on behalf of the village.
I'll do that.
And clerk to sign on behalf of the village?
Yep.
Okay, with you there, Ross?
Yes, I support that.
Okay,
Okay,
so we're ready?
roll call, please.
Ballard,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes?
Conan,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Sledds,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Wolock.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Office closure on the fifth.
The office closure on Friday, the 5th of July, because we're only open, just in short hours, and there hasn't been hardly any
Any
business.
activity, no business, no
We should
phone
have been closed
calls.
the Friday before Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'll move to allow the village office to be closed on Friday, July 5th, 2019. Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
that is also an unpaid closure, so no one's
Yeah.
getting paid while the office is closed.
Yes,
The clerk is not getting paid. I'm sorry, not the clerk, the
Clerk.
clerical
Yeah.
staff is not being paid. It's an unpaid
All
bill.
right. All in favor, yeah.
Aye.
Motion carried. Steve, you had something on the minutes?
Yes, I do. On page 2, under the sewer plant update, at the very tail end, it says he stated the price is cheaper than having Jet pump. We ought to do this work. Just take that whole sentence right off, because Jet was never going to do sidewalk work. So just remove that
Didn't
sentence.
they have that in their quote?
They wrote in there they would not do the
Oh,
sidewalk.
okay,
would
So,
not.
all right.
would not.
So just remove that whole sentence.
So just take that
Yeah.
one out. And then the next one I have is on page 3, under citizens' comments. And the very tail end, it said paving will begin with weather permits, and seeding will begin, because the paving's already been done.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Very good, thank you, Steve.
So with that being said, I'd like to approve the minutes as amended.
Support?
Okay,
This is the May 20th, just so everybody, right?
Yes.
Yes.
right.
But it's May,
Yes.
excuse me, but it's May 20th, 2019, isn't it? Or so?
Been 18.
Yeah. That's
Man, you know what?
Good catch, Dave.
That's just a typo.
I'm
I
on
don't know how
fire.
that even- My fingers were wrong, so I changed that. That's changed too.
Okay, David,
Oh,
thank you.
Dave, good catch. Always surprised.
Always say that.
I did.
150 years from now, Ross, we'll be wondering which meeting we approved.
Yeah. It's
Is it 2018?
That's right.
Man. Kurt was
Maybe
really
some type of
absent-minded.
sesquicentennial something celebration, was it 18, was it 19? We don't know.
Who knows?
All right,
All right, so what is the council's wishes? Yeah,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain.
He wasn't here, right? Okay, motion to hear.
I couldn't recognize the year off, even not being at the meeting.
So, up and coming agenda items, does the council have any?
the next meeting, we're gonna have, it was on the original meeting for tonight, but she had to cancel. A girl in middle school is going to come and present her global impact presentation because of she's going to be cleaning the creek. So she wants to come and she gave me a whole 5-minute speech on the phone, so she wants to come and relay that to you guys. So she was supposed to be here tonight, but it was her mother's birthday, so she couldn't be here.
What grade is she?
I think 8th. I think that's an 8th grade project. I think they started in 6th grade and they finish it in 8th. So she'll be here and under presentations next meeting. And I will be bringing back the letter for the planning commission appointment.
Go ahead.
So, Chief Patrick had reached out to Michelle and I about fireworks, and as many of you know, it's been about 5+ years that the state kind of took away local control on fireworks, that whole reform. I think we looked at it when that first went into effect, and we really didn't feel that there was much need to regulate. As you know, in response to a lot of public outcry over fireworks, on 33 days, day before a holiday, day after a holiday, the state did allow some more local control. So the chief reached out, like I said, and said, do you think that this would be a good time to update our fireworks ordinance? Which is very, very simple. It doesn't really get into, the types of fireworks and things like that. So I told the chief that, I probably need to get some feedback from council. Is there any interest in bringing forth that ordinance? It's a relatively simple one. I don't know if Michelle or the chief found some good examples that we can work on.
The chief did.
The chief did. So really what it would do is, obviously we can't completely eliminate fireworks. The state has basically stepped in and said that, these are dischargeable on the allowed days. But there are some things, on the hours. Do we want to go on after 11:30? Do you want to cap it at, 12 o'clock? What's the boundaries? None of that is in our current ordinance. So I told the chief, let me just raise it. I don't want to overstep, without council saying that this is something we want to do. But, it's not, like I said, we're not getting rid of fireworks. We can't do that. But it would give the chief, and I think he's a little bit sensitive to the fact that, if we have someone setting them off at the school, or on public grounds in the park, he can't, he can do a little bit, but he can't do as much because our ordinance is pretty dated. So it's really, like I said, for those who, I know some on council felt like I gotta go by what council's feelings are, if it's not been a community issue. But when it comes to enforcement for the ones that do issue the discharge the fireworks 1 o'clock in the morning and the chief gets a call, then it becomes a bigger issue.
Well, I would say, speaking as somebody who's got to get up at 4 o'clock every morning, I really would appreciate it that people knock it off at a normal time. I don't know what normal is, but 11:30, 12 o'clock at night's not normal to me.
Okay.
Well, the state has guidelines on that.
Yeah,
now.
they do, and that's what
I'd
I
like
said.
to go with the state guidelines.
Okay. Right, our ordinance does not reflect any of the state law changes. That's kind of the issue that I'm bringing to you.
That's what I would like.
Yeah, okay.
Did the chief have some suggestions?
Yes, he did. He thought that we would be, it was pretty reasonable. It would just try to assert a little more local control. So, as you said, the state does have some parameters that you can't be more restrictive. But certainly, if the state says, 10:30 or 11, we need to be able to say to someone in your circumstances, cut it out at that time. And if the chief gets a complaint, he could issue it to you.
Right. I would say take it over by Dave's house, but he lives right next to me.
This guy gets up 4 o'clock in the morning, but he's cutting his grass at 9 at night.
That's a noise.
I'm gonna say it's because he's working till, yeah, right.
So we'll work on that. I don't know if we'll have it necessarily for the next meeting, Michelle, but we might be able to.
Well, at least set the public hearing.
I just think if you go with the state guidelines, say, what they said, you do the day before and the day after.
People can adjust better by then, I think.
Without little small villages.
They don't seem to be going off at all for me, other than, you know, like the ones they have in Burville.
Okay, well, thank you, I appreciate that. We'll-
Sure.
Yes.
We'll look into it.
I think Joe had one.
Yeah, Joe.
Okay, I wanted to do it at this meeting because I'd like to do it a little bit further in advance, but the county didn't have the county appropriations report done or the Headley available. So at our next meeting, we'll be setting the millage for the 2019 tax roll. So be prepared to consider which one to do with that.
So the next meeting, we're gonna set the millage rate?
Yes,
Joe, do we have to do the public hearing on that?
no,
That's
See.
because we did it at the budget public hearing.
Very good, thank you. Council, have anything else?
Concert in the park starts June 19th, and we have our whole lineup set up, which I think I said at the last meeting. We put the signs up, our sponsor signs are up in the park now. I have 3 more I still have to put up. I just got checks for you.
Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your
Everybody.
neighbors, bring your dinner. It's an awesome event. So I'd love to see everybody there.
The paper did call today, Mike, and asked if we had a schedule, so we would send it over to them, so they'll put it in the record.
Okay. I think we did that, I think.
The floor is
Yeah,
open.
that's good.
Yeah, we have it, yeah.
Floor is open, now we get to citizen comments. Name for the record, 3 minutes. Done, council-wide comments. Community events,
That's what's up.
concerts in the park,
Always.
that's it then. So, we don't have a closed session tonight, so I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Before you go, can I ask one question?
Sure.
Anything going on with the LED lighting? Is that dead or is that still being pursued?
Don't look at it, it's up to council.
We haven't
Yeah.
heard anything as far as from the other,
Was there a second
yeah.
contractor?
Well, we had her in, I mean, it's,
She was gonna get us some more.
which I gave you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if anybody's ready to pursue it, you know, you have to tell me, and I believe what she, I mean, depending on which company you're going with, but I know Amoresco would come in and do a lot of it for free. You know, we don't wanna put a lot of money, and you also, I mean, we really gotta stop and think about how much money it's going to cost to replace all these
Right.
fixtures and stuff. So, you know, I mean, we'd be a talk with Joe to make sure that we're even financially able to do it at this time, so.
The reason why I bring it up is because I go to the Oxford building now and then, and they're still very happy with it. It's lit up their new offices or their refurbished offices. They're happy with the cost. And they're a village like we are.
Yep,
You know, they're a little bit bigger, but
yeah,
it seems to be helping them out.
yep. No, I'm not, I mean, it's in council's hands now, so.
I'm all for any kind of environmental, impacts for us, we can save money. It can either cost us originally some money, but it's gonna save us in the long run.
Can we do that, Joe? Are we ready? I mean.
I don't have any numbers.
Yeah, we don't have any numbers.
So
That's
I
the
can't
problem.
tell you, you can afford it or you can't if I don't have any numbers.
I don't think any firm ones, but I'll look into it. We'll talk about it at the next meeting.
All right, so like I said, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Time is 7:43. I move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion supported. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, motion carried, thank you.